The new Harry Potter series from HBO is officially in motion, and let's make something clear right off the bat. This is not a remake. It's a reboot. And now that may sound like a small difference to you, just a word swap, right? But when you really look at it, this single word changes the entire way we should actually think about this new version of the wizarding world. So what is the actual difference? Quick breakdown. A remake is when you redo something beat for beat. Same structure, same story, same arc. Heck, sometimes even the same shots, like some of Disney's live-action remakes of its famous animated films. Like, imagine taking the Sorcerer's Stone movie from 2001, you give it a facelift with new actors and visual effects, and boom, you're done. But a reboot, that's where things get a little more interesting. A reboot says, let's take the world, the core characters, the source material, but build something new from it. And that's exactly what HBO is doing. It's taking the original 7 books and retelling them across 7 seasons, but going deeper, exploring things that never made it into the film, shifting tones, rethinking moments. In other words, this isn't just retreading old ground, no, it's repaving the road itself. So let's talk about the cast, because this announcement has officially dropped and we've got our new beloved Golden Trio. Now, we know you love Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint, but there are some new faces to the names that you hold so near and dear. Meet the new Harry, Hermione, and Ron. Dominic McLaughlin is Harry Potter. He's only around 11 years old and already landing one of the most iconic characters in all of fiction. You might recognize his name. He's set to appear in the BBC's Gifted series next year, and he's already working on Sky's new film, Grow. So clearly, people in the industry are seeing something special here. And then there's Arabella Stanton as Hermione Granger. She's making her on-screen debut here, but if you've seen Matilda in London's West End in 2023, well, that was her. Talk about star potential. Stepping into the role that made Emma Watson a household name, that is no small feat, but fans are already buzzing about her stage presence and her maturity. And finally, Ron Weasley. Alastair Stout takes up the mantle for this one. And this is his first on-screen acting role, but believe it or not, this kid's already been in a commercial for Albert Bartlett Potatoes. British audiences might already know him from that, but the rest of the world is about to. And honestly, casting someone brand new with no baggage or expectations, it might just be the perfect call for Ron. And that's just the beginning. Let's run down the rest of the known cast so far, because HBO is clearly going big. John Lithgow is stepping into the robes of Albus Dumbledore. That's right, Lithgow, Dumbledore. It's a wild casting, and it was even confirmed right here on ScreenRant first by our own Liam Crowley. And at first glance, it might throw you, but then you remember, this is the man who's done Shakespeare, Dexter, The Crown, and yeah, Shrek. He's done it all. He's got the gravitas, and at 78, he's ready to carry the weight of the role, even joking that he'll be 87 by the wrap party. That man is clearly in it for the long haul. Then there's Paapa Essiedu as Severus Snape. This one has a lot of people talking. You might have seen him in I May Destroy You, or more recently in The Outrun at Sundance. Essiedu's intensity, subtlety, and emotional range feel perfect for a character as complicated as Snape, and this role demands someone who can go from villainous to heartbreaking in the blink of an eye, and he's got it. Janet McTeer is playing Minerva McGonagall. She's won tons of awards with a background in theater, film, and TV. And if you've seen her in Ozark or Albert Nobbs, you know she brings some serious firepower. And McGonagall, well, that's a role that demands both dignity and strength, and she has both. Nick Frost, meanwhile, is Hagrid. Now, this is a pretty inspired pick. Frost, who many know from the Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz crew, has always balanced heart and humor together, and that's exactly what Hagrid truthfully is. He's a gentle giant with big feels. It's perfect. No word on who's playing Fluffy just yet, of course. Paul Whitehouse is playing Argus Filch. Yeah, the sneaky, grumpy Hogwarts caretaker. Whitehouse is best known for the fast show, but don't sleep on his dramatic chops. He's going to bring the mysterious factor and the comic relief all rolled into one. Luke Tholin, on the other hand, is Quirinus Quirrell. He's mostly known from London stage work, and since Quirrell is mostly a one-season character, you know, that whole face on the back of his head situation, Tholin is a strong pick to deliver a memorable one-season villain. So yes, the cast is stacked with both fresh faces and some veteran performers, but let's zoom out again. Why does all this even matter? Why are people so invested in how this reboot is taking shape? Because a reboot gives room to breathe, and this one comes with a new canvas to paint on. One of the biggest complaints about the original movies, even from die-hard fans, was how much was left out. Entire storylines, characters, emotional beats. Think about Peeves the Poltergeist, think about Spew, think about the full backstory of the Marauders, or the depth of Snape's history, or even how much richer the politics of the Wizarding World could have been if there was more time to explore it. Well, this new format, 7 seasons, 1 per book, means way more time to dig into the details. And it's not just about what they add, it's also about how they can reframe. Take Dumbledore. In the books, his morality gets more complicated the older Harry gets. The movies kind of gloss over that, but with a longer format and an actor like Lithgow, well, you can really explore Dumbledore as a mentor, manipulator, and even a flawed genius. The same goes for Snape. We all cried in Deathly Hallows Part 2, sure, but in the books, well, that slow burn arc takes years to really pay off. And now we'll get to experience that in pretty much real time. And yes, there's some pressure. Huge pressure, in fact. This isn't just any franchise. Harry Potter is a cultural cornerstone for an entire generation. And now a whole new generation's about to experience it totally differently, some for the very first time. The fans who grew up with the books and the movies, they're watching. They're watching closely. Every casting decision, every plot change, every aesthetic choice, it's all under the microscope. Then there's the whole J.K. Rowling factor. Yeah, she's involved. HBO and Warner Brothers confirmed she's part of the process, especially in selecting the writer and director. According to the studio, she'll be ensuring the series maintains the integrity of the books. And while that's great news for purists, it started plenty of conversation online, especially considering Rowling's political views and their impact on parts of the fanbase. A case in point, Essiedu, the new Snape, he signed an open letter this year advocating for the rights of the transgender community alongside Eddie Redmayne and Katie Leung. Some fans speculated that might put him at odds with Rowling, but she responded saying she doesn't have the power to fire anyone and wouldn't if she could. It's a reminder that whether or not we actually like it, the show exists in a much larger cultural conversation. Still, what's becoming clear is this. HBO isn't playing it safe. They're swinging big. This series is a 10-year commitment. 10 years! That's a decade of storytelling, development, and evolution. According to executives, production starts this summer at Warner Brothers Studios, the same place where the original films were shot. How's that for full circle? So what does this actually mean now? Well, it means you should expect the unexpected. Expect new scenes that were only in the books. Expect character arcs that feel a little more fleshed out. Expect casting that might surprise you. Expect a tone that might be darker, slower, or more psychological in places. And yeah, expect all of this to go over totally fine on social media, because when you touch something this beloved, there's never any discourse or debate, right? But if they do get it right, if they honor the heart of the books while pushing the story forward in new, meaningful ways, well, this reboot could be something truly special. So buckle up. Whether you're a die-hard fan or just magic curious, the Wizarding World is about to open its doors again. And this time, we're not just stepping back into Hogwarts, we're stepping into a whole new version of it. Wands ready? Let's see what they got.